afternoon, good evening. My name is Jason Williams, and I'm with my tag team partner, Blake Castetter, and we are the Sunday Fun Day guys. Time for the six pack, Blake.
That's right. Let's get
Man,
those units up.
I tell you what, man, these bets haven't been going well at all.
They haven't?
No, for
I
some
had a
reason.
great Thursday.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody did. Hey, be thankful for that because I did not.
Well,
I'm
I had
around
to
still
cash
Brown.
out. I had to
Yeah.
cash out early. Don't get me
Hey,
wrong.
nothing wrong with tapping out.
I didn't make had I cashed out before the game started, I would have made more, but I still walked away up 5x on the day.
All right, that's
It's not
good.
bad. Now, hopefully somebody out there in the world took me up on Mitch Tinsley.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Anytime touchdown plus 600.
Uh-huh.
Did you get in on that action?
I did get on that action.
Me too.
Right. I thought he had an opportunity. Well, he did. He stopped running.
I
He
know.
would had another one.
Not sure what happened there.
Note to self receivers: don't ever stop running, especially when you got Joe freaking Burrow throwing you the ball.
No doubt.
Seriously. Well, again, Mitchell Tinsley, is he going to come up in this episode? Who knows? But we do have some interesting bets for this week. I'll let you kick it off, Blake.
Bet number one,
Yeah.
Travion Henderson over 80.5 receiving and rushing yards combined.
Okay.
He might beat this with just his rushing yards.
Mhm.
He might. Week 8 against the Browns, he went for 75 rushing yards. This was the only game in the past 5 weeks where he's been, involved in the game really, where he hasn't covered this line, and because he had 0 receptions that week. Then the return of Stevenson. Everyone's wondering, what's that balance going to be? Are they going to include Stevenson? Or are they going to use Henderson? Since the return, he's still the RB1, and he's still covering this line. This week, he gets the Giants, allowing 157.2 rushing yards per game.
That's a lot.
Officially now, the Bengals are no longer the worst run defense in the NFL.
Woo-hoo!
They are now the second. They are allowing the second worst rushing yards per game and the second worst yards per carry. They've been taken over by the Giants, who are allowing 5.9 yards per carry. And the worst run defense DVOA. Through 12 games, the Giants are also allowing 33 receiving yards to the running back position. So I don't know if you do quick math, the 157 and 33, it's like 190.
That's
I have to think Henderson hits 80.5.
Sounds like a winner to me.
You in on that action?
I am definitely in on that action.
Right.
Again, we talked about, as we talked about, it took a while, but we know Travion Henderson is the guy. Like, we're not playing this game anymore, folks. Like, okay, Stevenson, it's a nice run for you. Now we got a stud, we got a horse at running back, and we're going to ride him. With Drake May combined with the skill players that they have, that's why New England's won, 10 in a row?
Amazing. I don't understand Stevenson, Bengals goal line over and over and over again. They didn't try Henderson once.
I don't get it either.
I wasn't upset about it, being a Bengals fan, but
right. That's again, these coaches outsmarting themselves. You need a little bit of shake on the goal line, especially when they know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, Travion Henderson, interesting.
Where are you going with your first pick of our Sunday?
My first pick is Mr. Bo Nix, over 16.5 rushing yards against the Commanders at minus 114. Bo Nix has had an interesting season. Like, he's been kind of up and down. Some analysts think he's not played well. He's out not seeing the field well. Whatever. That we're going to leave that aside. He had a bye week, so he had a 48-yard rushing performance against the Giants. Ironically enough. Bo Nix has had totals of -1, 36, -2, and 8 since then, Blake. And that's well below what anyone would think for Bo Nix. This week, though, I think that he has the remedy. And it is in the form of the Washington Commanders so far. They've given up the second most rushing yards to quarterbacks at 455, only topped by the New York Jets at 482. The Broncos are coming off a bye, and typically during a bye, you have had a chance to self-evaluate yourself or self-scout yourself, whatever you want to call it. I think Bo's done the same thing, and I think there'll be more opportunities. He'll see more opportunities to run the ball instead of trying to make some type of spectacular play. So take the yards when you can get them, Bo. I think he will this week. I like 16 and a half over 16 and a half rushing yards against the Commanders and minus 114 for Mr. Bo Nix.
Yeah, I was looking up quickly how the
Yeah.
Commanders are against running quarterbacks.
Hmm?
Try and help out that stat, but you pulled it out.
Well, thank you. I learned from the best.
My second pick,
Yes.
quick one, easy.
Uh.
Shadur Sanders over 152 and a half passing yards against San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's not much to really lean on to back this up other than the line seems low. The kid's had one game where he started, where he played the whole game. He threw for over 200 yards. Granted, it was Las Vegas, but at the same time, they didn't have to throw the ball. They could have ran the ball all over Las Vegas with Judkins just repeatedly.
Right.
Now they go to San Francisco or against San Francisco. 11 out of 12 games this year, the quarterback has covered this line. The only time it wasn't covered was week 1, Sam Darnold with Seattle. He only threw for 150 yards.
Wow.
That was when San Francisco was fully healthy. Fred
Right.
Warner, etc.
Sure.
I don't know if they're getting Bosa back. They're not getting Bosa back this week, are they?
No.
I didn't
He's
think
out
so.
he's out for the year.
He's a year? Okay.
He is. I think he got ACL. Yes.
So there's been big losses on San Francisco's defense.
The two best players. Bosa
Literally.
Warner. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll take this all day. I'm going to ladder this up to 170, 180, 190, and 200. I'm going to go all the way to 200.
You're going to 200.
I think he breaks 200 again.
Okay, the caveat is the weather. Have you seen the weather?
No.
Does it not matter?
It might.
Okay. I'm just saying before you ladder, check out because I know it's supposed to be windy.
Okay.
And I watched a little bit of the Bears Eagles game, and it was some
30 mile an hour winds.
30 mile an hour winds coming off that lake. Whew, that's a problem. I think that's the reason why it's so low, to be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I'll take
But
a
still-
double check on that before I throw that down. But
No,
if
but-
the weather looks okay, this
Right.
is a layup.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I think the first game was he came in relief of Dylan Gabriel, so that's a wash. First game is against the Raiders. It is his first game, so he struggled a little bit. But again, you make your biggest jump from your first to your second game. So I think Shadur, with the help of his receivers and his running backs, I think he'll make that jump. And I think he'll get. I don't know. I don't really. The weather may be a factor, but 152, that seems doable.
Well, and Sanders he's made a living in college on dink and dunks.
Yep. Yeah.
He's had a lot of success throwing the ball short underneath routes.
Yes.
Tight ends. And then, so I don't know how much of a factor the weather would be if it's just wind.
Right. Especially if he's got two good tight ends, which he
he
does.
does.
Yep. All right, buddy. All right. My second bet of the Sunday six pack is Jaylen Warren over 62.5 rushing yards against the Bills at minus 114. Jaylen Warren's rushing stats the last 3 games, 70, 62, 68. So this 62.5 point total over 62.5 rushing yards is very intriguing, Blake. Here's a few reasons I think Mr. Warren hits the over. The Bills' run defense is bad. How bad, you ask? 30th in the league in rushing yards allowed at 148.9. They've allowed running backs to average a whopping 5.3 yards per carry. Not as bad as the Giants, but close. And finally, they rank dead last in rushing touchdowns allowed at 17. So you can see why I'm high on Jaylen Warren this week. I would even think about bumping this one up to 80-plus yards rushing. Feeling really good about this one.
Yeah, and I mean, last week, Woody Marks went 16 for 74.
Right.
Averaging 4.6 a carry. And Woody Marks is not Jaylen Warren.
No.
And he was sharing time with Nick Chubb, which Kenneth Gainwell is going to get his, right?
Sure.
But 16 touches for 74 with a long of a 19-yard run.
Right. I think, yeah, go ahead.
No, I could see Jaylen Warren hitting a 19-yard run
I was going to say that. I think he'd get 20, 25-yard run at some point. And then at that point, you're feeling pretty good about the bet. All right. Jaylen Warren, minus 114, 62.5 yards rushing over.
My last one is Tetaroa McMillan, T-Mac,
Ooh, you
over
got it.
56.5.
I love it. You got that pronunciation. Dead on. You've been practicing, folks.
I liked him before the year, and I still like him. He's had a great rookie year. 96 targets, 56 catches, 783 yards through 12 weeks. I mean, he's
Sure.
having a great rookie campaign.
Yep.
Yes, he's going up against the Rams, who have a great defense. Better against the run than they are the pass. On the season and over the past 3 weeks, they've been mediocre. They're middle of the road. On the season, they're allowing 208 passing yards per game. Over the past 3, they're allowing 227. Their defense is ranked 17th in DVOA in against opponents' number 1 wide receivers. They allow the 9th most adjusted receiving yards per game at 155. Not only does the matchup on paper make sense to me, so does the game script. Carolina's 10.5-point dogs, anticipating the Panthers playing from behind and throwing a lot. Have to anticipate that those targets are going to go T-Mac's way. 56.5 seems low. I'd be comfortable up to 70.
Oh, really? Okay. He had a bad game Monday night.
I know.
So
he did not look good.
He did not look good. And
that's why you don't chase the points. He had a great week the week before, so you don't go automatically just throw him in just because.
Right. You got to be careful with that. We talked about it. It was fool. I think he was my sit of the week because it was fool's gold. But, I think this one, to your point, the game script's going to dictate a lot. If these guys are behind, they're going to be throwing the ball. And that bodes well for T-Mac in terms of hitting that over. So I can see, again, all predicated on the game script, but we feel like the Rams will win that game, even though we think it's a caution pick.
It's a caution pick.
We think they will win, but I like the 56.5. What about receptions? What do you think? Over reception total? It's probably 4.5, I would think, maybe.
I was thinking 4.5 or 5.5. I would be comfortable for sure with 4.5.
4.5, yeah. 5.5.
Well, it depends on this game script. There might be a lot of targets going his way.
Yeah, I can see that.
So 6 catches isn't an insanely high number.
Exactly.
It really comes down to more of how does Bryce Young throw the ball?
Ooh, that's a big if.
I know. Well, more on that to come.
Well, speaking of throwing the ball, my last Sunday 6-pack bet is Josh Allen over 237.5 yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers at -114. Coming off one of the worst performances of Josh's career against the Houston Texans. 24-34, 253 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Josh Allen gets the ultimate slump buster, Blake, in the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. You're shaking your head? Yeah? No?
Because I face him in both my main leagues.
All right. I'm sorry, brother. My bad. You never know. You never know. It's the same defense that has given up the second most passing yards to QBs this year. Again, when you're in the conversation, the same conversation with the Cincinnati Bengals in any defensive category, is not good. As of today, meaning Friday, the Steelers are now first in passing yards allowed with 256 yards a game given up. They give up 256 yards a game. The Bengals had that, and the Steelers take it away. Josh Allen has been asked to do more with less than any other quarterback in the NFL by far. I don't understand it, but whatever. How long can he keep being Superman? I'm not sure, but at least for this week against the Steelers, he will be the man of steel. See what I did right there?
I can't do that. I can't go with it.
Whoa.
I can't bet it.
Yeah.
It'd be bad juju for
of course it would. Yes.
My game this week.
Yeah, stay away from everybody else. Have at it.
Josh Allen's gonna dud. Trust me.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into my college, man. We're winding down the college football season again. We got this week and then conference championships next week, and then the playoff in a few weeks. So last week, the Oregon Ducks did me good. They covered against the USC Trojans. That 9.5 spread seemed like an awful lot, but they showed up and showed out at home against the Trojans. This week, Blake, is the game. So I am picking Ohio State versus Michigan, and Ohio State's favored by 9.5. The game of the week in college football is the game. Could it be another classic Ohio State-Michigan game? As always, there's a ton of things on the line. If OSU wins, they get closer to the number one seed in the CFP, and they clinch the Big Ten championship next week in Indianapolis. If Michigan wins, they probably punch their ticket into the college playoff. Secondly, can Ohio State end a 4-game losing streak against the Wolverines, which is got many Buckeye fans not too happy? Here are some stats to consider when you're talking about this game. This marks the 50th time in the series that both teams have been ranked. Ohio State's head coach Ryan Day is 52-1 against all other teams in the Big Ten, not named Michigan. It's an amazing stat. Amazing. The Wolverines last defeated the number one team in the AP in 1984, and that was the Miami Hurricanes. OSU is coming into Ann Arbor with the nation's number one defense, allowing 7.6 points a game. Yes, 7.6 points a game, the best in 30 years for a number one defense. Michigan is undefeated at home, only has faced one ranked opponent, Oklahoma, which they lost to on the road. There's a bunch of keys to this game, but I'm going to focus on one. Michigan's offense versus Ohio State's defense. Will Ohio State's defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, yes, that guy, Matt Patricia, New England Patriots fame, confuse Michigan's freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood, $4 million quarterback. Yes, I said it, $4 million, $4 million. The same way he did Arch Manning in the first game of the year when Ohio State played Texas. All right, drum roll.
What's it going to be? Ohio State cover, or are you going to take the points? And
I think Patricia will stop Michigan, and I think Ohio State not only ends the 4-game losing streak to Michigan, but they also cover the 9.5-point spread with an explosive offense led by Julian Sain, Carnell Tate, and all-world receiver Jeremiah Smith, who will be the number one pick in the 2027 NFL Draft, and will add his name to the list of star Ohio State receivers in the NFL. He's the next one in line. Carnell Tate is too. So there you have it. Ohio State not only wins this game, ends the streak, but covers the 9.5. You're welcome, Buckeye fans. Don't call me a jinx when it happens. That was a lot.
I don't think Portnoy would agree with you.
Yeah, well, tell him to go eat some more pizzas, I guess.
That's right.
Yeah, he didn't
Take
even go
2 bites.
He didn't even go to one of the better pizza places in Cincinnati. There's a lot more than I was like, man. Yeah. Anyway,
I wasn't thrilled with the choices either.
We'll move on. All right. Other lines you like this week, buddy?
What do you think? A couple lines I like. I found. We mentioned earlier the tight ends for Cleveland.
Yeah.
I like Njoku over 12.5 yards and over 1.5 receptions. In the initial game where Sanders came in, he threw the ball a couple times to Njoku. They just weren't good balls.
Yeah.
12.5 and 1.5 is low, especially if you're talking about that weather's going to get nasty.
Yep.
If it does get nasty, it's safe to dink and dunk to your tight ends. He didn't show up last week. I have to imagine he's going to this week. 12.5 yards and 2 catches.
That seems like a layup.
That's my thought too. Piggybacking off of your late from last week, Jaden Higgins over 3.5 receptions. This guy has solidified himself as the wide receiver 2 in Houston without question. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 6.4 targets and 3.4 catches. He's covered 4 or more in 4 of his last 5. My only concern in this game with that line is that CJ is back, and it's not Davis Mills, the throat goat, throwing to him. Lastly, we talked about a lot of tossing the ball around in the Carolina Rams game.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bryce Young over 0.5 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. These tosses leads to a lot of opportunities for interceptions. He's thrown one in 4 of his last 5. And against single high safeties, he's only completing 57% of his passes at a 71.8 passer rating with a 4-5 touchdown to INT ratio.
Ooh.
So he's throwing more interceptions than he is touchdowns against single high.
Bad.
Against zone, it's not any better. He's got a 5-6 touchdown to INT ratio.
Whoa.
And per my norm, The Rams like to run single high and zone.
Mm-hmm.
So take the over 0.5 INTs for Bryce Young.
I'm taking that over for sure. No doubt. No doubt. All right. I like those. I like those lines. Joku's the interesting one. Higgins with Stroud coming back, that's going to be like, how's he going to, is it all going to go back to Nico, or is he going to spread the wealth, or what is he going to do? That's going to be.
Nico's done better without Stroud.
No, he has. Yeah, you're right.
So hopefully they follow the same play calling strategy or close to.
I would hope so. It's done them well the last, 5 games?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. All right, let's get into the late segment. I got a couple of lates for you that I had to dig on these. Dig.
Never heard of this first one.
I know, right? I had neither until I looked them up. I was like, oh, Gunnar Helm. Yes, that's right. Gunnar Helm. Who? Tight end for the Tennessee Titans.
What happened to Okonkwo?
He's still there, but Gunnar is gunning for that position.
All right.
You set me up for that one. He's emerging as Cam Ward's favorite target, getting at least 5 targets, 3 out of the last 5 Titans games. So 3 of Tennessee's last 5 games, he's gotten 5 or more targets. With so many injuries at the wide receiver position, they've got a plethora of injuries. They are depleted at wide receiver. Gunnar could have some value coming down the stretch. So keep an eye on him. I mean, are you going to pick him up? Probably not. But man, if a tight end gets hurt, he probably is going to be up there on your waiver wire list pretty quickly. So just keep an eye on Gunnar. My other one is Luther Burden III.
I love this one.
Yeah, Chicago. I just happened to pull him up, and I saw him on a couple waiver wires because I look at 2 or 3 different leagues I'm in and see who's on the waiver wire. He happened to be in all 3 of them. Last 3 games, 5 targets, and 6 targets for the Bears. Is he becoming the safety valve for Caleb and filling the slot role that the Bears needed? I'm not going to compare it to him, but Amon-Ra St. Brown plays that slot role pretty well. I'm not sure he's not on that level for sure, but he could be coming into his own, being a rookie and finally getting the grasp of the playbook. So Luther Burden III is definitely one to keep an eye on. I don't know if anybody has room to pick him up, but again, if somebody goes down and you need an option, he's definitely out there. He's out there.
I'll tell you another person that looked really good last night.
Yeah.
Malik Davis.
He did.
That's a guy that if you have Javonte Williams, I am not a big proponent for handcuffs, especially early in the season.
Right.
But the end of the season,
he's got some juice.
If you've got bench space or you can make bench space to secure a handcuff for a top running back.
Yeah.
I mean, Malik Davis, if you've got Javonte Williams, you need to find a space for Malik Davis. He looked good.
Yeah, he looked fast.
Past 2 weeks. Yeah, that run, that 43-yarder.
Ooh, nobody was catching him.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, he's got the juice. Well, those are the lates. Blake, anything else for the Fanatics?
Get the bets in and share your wins.
Yes, do that. Hopefully I win this week. Like I said, I'm struggling, man. Too many parlays. Too many of them. Too many legs. Too many legs. It's like I don't even want to get into it. Well, there you have it, Fanatics. Our Sunday 6-pack for week number 13 already. Good luck this week, and may you have a great Sunday fun day. Sunday fun day, guys. Out.